Hello, my name is Francis Fox, and I have a degree in political science from the University of Miami. I ran a successful business for 20 some years, almost 30, and I am now totally aligned with my mission, which is to bring you this extra information from other dimensions so that this transition to this new era will be easier. I have some fascinating news. On the 11th of November, several days ago, there was a portal that opened, 1111 portal. You've heard of those, and what do you do with it? It turns out that that portal closed on the 18th of November, which would have been 2 days ago. That portal was a portal through which many of us pass through to reach another dimension, almost like an addition to our life. And what the dolphins told me, dolphins are dolphin consciousness from off planet poured into the vessel of a dolphin body. The Greeks consider them gods. If you don't, it's because you're not up to speed yet. That's okay. Widen your lens and just listen. So, that between the 11th and the 18th, that portal was opened. And the information that we got, which I'm going to read to you right now, I have it in Spanish, so I'll be translating it. It's much easier to me to speak to people that are not Anglos, that are Latin America, Russia, whatever, because they have a background in metaphysics. In this country, we don't. That's a big problem. But you can kind of blame that on your government, whose military, who they gave too much control to, didn't want for you to be up to speed about the other dimensions, because that's where reality is created. That's a sideline. I'm very ADD. The day that the 1111 portal closed, according to the dolphins considered gods by the Greeks, the 18th of November, the people that went through the portal, whose frequency was high enough, reached a new dimension, which the dolphins gave a name to, which is horizon. It's a dimension that opens to other dimensions depending on the frequency of the individual. This new dimension, the people that continue to raise their frequency will be able to achieve heights more than what the Egyptian achieved. The most important thing is the rooting of the coccyx of the individual. As I've said 1,000 times on this podcast, in the Lord's Prayer, was it done purposefully? Was that another conspiracy? Doesn't really matter. It doesn't say deliver us from evil. It doesn't say protect us from evil. It says help us to be in the moment, grounded, rooted. There's no question but that's what it says in the original Aramaic Lord's Prayer. That's your coccyx, which is shaped like a spike. Now, conspiracy groups, Freemasons, and all, they know about that. They actually even have, from what I understand, I don't know anything about it, they actually have a type of sex that can stimulate that. It's actually, that coccyx is what's stimulated when you take DMT, which I don't know anything about either. But when you take DMT, there's one common image that everybody sees, and that's gnomes, Gnomes, little fairies associated with nature. Those are your spirit guides in the coccyx. So, talk to me about mythology that we're required to learn in college and in high school, but that never happened. Actually, it did happen, and those spirits exist. And if you can get in contact with them and develop a relationship with them, it helps you in your path, regardless. So, on the 18th, 2 days ago, many of us, but nowhere near all of us, are now living in an extra dimension, and we have released stuff. Most of you should be able to feel a huge difference. like lighter. I feel so much lighter, and I'm able to see things so much quicker. It's very different, and every day that goes by, it will be more so. This is what they talked about in the Bible, the division, where there'd be two at the well and God would come and one would be lifted up. Those of us that went through that portal, we're not going to have to go through the horrors that perhaps the other people will have to go through. I'll explain about who determines the frequency, which is not God, and it's not how nice you are. It's I explained it yesterday, I'll explain it today and tomorrow, so that because apparently there's going to be another portal that's going to open up in July 2026. But thank God I don't have to worry about that because the difference in the last 2 days has been monumental. One of the tricks is that the people that you have around you may not have that new frequency, and it's going to feel very uncomfortable. It's just not going to work. I could see that last night when I got together with the Mantrista group, and and I've been telling them for a long time, if you're still into black magic, you're just going to fall by the wayside one way or another. You're not going to be able to keep up with the group. Well, I suspect I'm going to be left with just half the group. And during our time together, I was able to see a very sweet man who's part of the group. I was able to see that he was doing black magic on me in his home. I could see his little altar. Now, the black magic he was doing was to sweeten me up so that I would really favor him. So I said it because I'm very much that way. I said, listen, I already told you that when you do these things to sweeten people up, that's still interfering with free will. Get the heck out of this group. And don't come back for 3 months until you figure it out. Anyway, so we got together last night, and this is real important. And this is those of you that are political gossips, you're going to like this. We went we were working with the issue of the Vatican, who is working on my eyes so that I cannot see things. He's also working on killing me with magic actively. No question. If you know of anybody who's a psychic, just have them check and they'll be able to see that what I'm saying. Hundreds of people have seen it already. The Pope is a zombie, but it doesn't really matter. Can we please shut him up and put masking tape on him? One of the pieces of good news today that I realize is the Vatican is not going to make it because their vibration is really, really low. Doesn't really matter how much they use Jesus Christ as their marketing tool. Their vibration is very low. That's why they have so many secrets. Because if you knew what was going on in there, you would be you would vomit. Beyond horrifying. So we're working on the Vatican. And we know that the Vatican has a plan with Venezuela, and I hadn't really figured it out, or better said, I had not gotten the information as what was their interest. We knew it had to do with off-planet stuff, and we know that the Vatican knows a lot about the ETs and the aliens. I know that they have bad aliens that work with them. I did not know this information I'm going to give you now. So just breathe, widen your lens. You don't have to act on the information. You just listen. Venezuela, because I asked the masters, what's this thing with the Vatican so desperate in Venezuela? It can't just be about oil and crystals and gold. Venezuela is ground zero for the bad ETs and the good ETs landing. Venezuela is ground zero for the landing of bad and good ETs. The information I got was that that's within the next 3 days. Well, we'll find out soon enough. Remembering always that the future is elastic and plastic. And the masters continued, that is why it's so important that Venezuela be stable before this landing invasion. And they kept putting landing and then slash invasion because it's two things at one time. It's actually one thing, but it's actually two angles. There's going to be a landing, and it will simply be a landing with the good ETs, and it will be invasion by the bad ETs. Continuing on, Venezuela is a portal to a lot of beings from other planets. That is why it is vulnerable and it's critically important for the free will of planet Earth. That's the message from the masters. And there we have the dragon, because it turns out that dragons operate in space. The movie The Last Airbender was one of the most seen movies on Netflix. And it's a cartoon and it's cute and it looks like it's for kids. I saw it 3 times and I never see anything to the end even once. And I'm like, okay, but there's something just like Matrix. Just like the Matrix, it was a movie that resonated with something that we're not aware of. And The Last Airbender doesn't. Last Airbender, the Fire Nation wants to kill the Water Nation. Well, fire is what's killing the planet, and water is what could put it out. Makes sense. But the main thing is that these beings that are like characters or cartoons or caricatures, those are vessels. When they say you're an empty vessel, like Margaret Taylor Greene is right now, and a lot of people are right now, something else comes in. What comes in when it's a dolphin is dolphin consciousness from another planet. Da 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 da. Okay, got it? We were told in the Bible there would be a process. And God would rescue a whole group of people, and the other people wouldn't be rescued. The Mayans said the same thing. And the people that are in spirituality, they say there's an ascension process. The people with the human resonance is saying that this is doing stuff that we've never seen before. Something is totally changing here. Yes. And the big shift was between the 11th and the 18th of November. A portal opened on the 11th, go through it. That's when God came down and picked up people, closed on the 18th. After the 18th, when I said, well, okay, well, how are we going to be able to tell? And they said, you're just going to tell. You in your heart, in your life, everything you're going to be able to tell. I can tell you, the difference is unbelievable. Now, if you are hanging out with people, if you have people working for you, if you're dealing with people that don't have this access to this new dimension, this new resonance that's so beautiful, it's going to get really difficult. So I had to let go of a couple of people in 2 days. There were already people that just didn't feel right. Not the same resonance. Can't be in the same zip code. It's like neighborhoods. Some are very expensive and then you're poor at this point in your life. That expensive zip code is not for you right now. You could get there later. You can't go there right now. You're going to stick out like a sore thumb. Live in your car in a expensive zip code. That is exactly what's going to be happening more and more and more. But I want to go ahead and apply this to the United States and what's going on now. We have a lot of unhappy people. We knew that there was going to be in terms of information from hundreds and thousands of years ago. This was always going to be a mess. Okay, is it such a great mess? Everybody seems to be able to continue to do business in the United States. So it may reach a bigger mess, but we're still continuing. So I think what I really would like to be able to explain clearly, and I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to, is that when you get access to a new dimension that is accessing even other dimensions and they're higher and they're more beautiful, then the rules can change and they should change. So, in terms of the thing that has had me uncomfortable for a while, I feel like getting my nail file and starting to file my nails, which is totally inappropriate. I'm going to do it anyway. In terms of rules changing, I would like to make this suggestion, Trump. You already let the world know that this country is not going to tolerate illegal immigration. You've already let the immigrants know that it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. One of the things that is not resonating with your heart, Trump, and with this new world that many of us are fortunate enough to be part of now since 2 days ago, is the whole picking up of people by the ICE agents. When you go move to a new city, to a new zip code, you go someplace different, or you go to the park rather than going to work. What you wear is different, your actions are different. This is a new world, Trump. Maybe you don't need to do that anymore. Maybe the United States, because of your strength, has said to the world, you know what? We're setting the rules. These are the rules. Just don't do it. Maybe we don't need to take out the people that many good people are talking about, which are the people that have been here. Somebody doesn't want me to be saying these things. See, my left ear, which is we get the invasion. I wanted to file my nails. Pretty soon I'm going to go and redo my makeup. That's encouragement by the not so great spirits that don't want me to keep my focus. I'm not going to get up. So the point has been made. Absolutely. This is a country that has been known, don't get upset. This is a country where people out of this country know that the United States people here are not so intelligent. And that's why they have to sell you appliances that are called smart appliances and smart meters when they're horrible for you. Why? This is a cancer country, astrologically. Cancer people are very nice, but they can be really dumb. I'm cancer. I have been so dumb with people, including my family, that it's pathetic. It makes me look low IQ. I'm not low IQ. We already know that. Government made me high IQ. Why did I look low IQ to so many people? Even people who knew me well. Because the emotions. So United States are good people. Cancer, they want to help. So they set up this whole system to where people wouldn't have to struggle. But then you get people from other countries that are not cancer astrologically, and they come in and they go, oh, I can work this system and get everything I want. And then you get, I'm Cuban, but you get the Cubans that were raised under communism. They had to learn to play the system or they wouldn't have food. They come here, they play a system. So I think they're number 5 in terms of food stamps. And they come, and the first thing they do is sit back. They don't move forward. They sit back and they look at the system and how can they get the most without having to work? That's the way they were raised in Cuba. Other countries, a lot of people are into survival. You throw them into a country like this, and the astrology of their country is different. I know this sounds like crazy to some of you people, but check it out. And you have somebody who's going, okay, so then all I have to have is 2 more babies and I got it made. Or I just have to have my daughter, she'd be a Hispanic, so that has to end. And you ended it, Trump. You ended it. And now you're going to have a lot of industries that are going to be struggling because they don't have. This is a big shift all at once. And there's so many things shifting all at once. With this new dimension, you could use that as an excuse. How do you explain that to the public? Who your military did not want for them to know about other dimensions, who you probably continue to fund universities, and they don't want new knowledge. Universities do not want new knowledge because then they're not at the top of the heap anymore. Perhaps it's time to say, you know what? Not only to say we proved a point, we made a point, everybody got the message, including the countries that were letting their people come in, the other countries. Maybe it's not bad to say, I think a revision of policy is called for at this point. I think that's supposed to be one of the makings of a great man is an ability to see when something needs to change. It's the dictators and the kings that go, nah, that's the way it is. That's it. Walk away, and you're not looking at what's going on. The one thing that has people, from what I can see, the unhappiest in terms of what's going on is the ICE process, the process of picking up people that are illegal. Now, if they committed crimes, they should be picked up. But maybe that whole thing needs to be revamped and maybe they need to have uniforms that are pink. Now, that's a joke, but it's not a joke. But I would say, I remember years ago that I was introduced to somebody and she was a press agent. She was into PR and her specialty was when there was a crisis. And if you had a crisis, like your name came out and things were awful and you needed crisis management, you would go to her and she would get it figured out how they could angle this. I think you're going to have to do that with the ICE agents and the picking up. And I think there needs to be such a clear distinction and a different way of doing it so that people can calm down and say, decent people that have been here for 20 years and have worked and paid taxes and have done things right, they're going to be okay. We're going to set up a special group that if they get picked up by mistake, they can petition that and then just tell the entire goddamn country that they better have their documents ready, that they were here and they did do the stuff right and whatever. I don't know what to do about the taxes thing. I don't know enough about that. So that if they get picked up, you don't have to be holding them for 3 months while they try to collect all their data. If they can prove that they didn't end up in jail, that they didn't kill people, assault people, whatever. I think it's time. We're in a new dimension. It's a new opportunity. Nobody can call you a king after that, Trump. And it's not looking right and it's not looking good. And your enemies are making sure of that. Are you right about doing it? Absolutely. Is it damaging for I live in Miami. No illegal aliens. Who's going to clean our houses? Who's going to pick up the crops? Who's going to do the gardening? Somebody at Univision years ago did a movie, a day without. I think it was a day without Mexican gardeners. It was a cute movie. Um, I don't really remember details. It's a different world, but maybe it doesn't have to be 100% one way or the other. I think the person you're going to have the most trouble with is the head of the whole ICE movement. I think his name is Honan. He's a nice guy. So I think maybe you should give him like this substantial, what do you call it? Not salary, but bonus for helping you with the transition between how people have presented and look at ICE now and a transition into we're modifying our policy because we achieved our goal. What was the goal? No more illegal aliens, getting out the illegal aliens that have just simply laughed at the laws and done damage to the citizens. And let's not offer protection, but let's offer opportunity for those that are here that have behaved well and have supported the economy. Give him a big bonus. He's going to have a stroke anyway. You know why he's going to have a stroke? Because he's a nice guy. And he's doing what he really believes in because he was able to witness some god awful stuff. But he can't function very, and I'm checking to see if I'm saying something accurate psychically. He can't last because his heart is too soft. So basically, you're going to be doing him a favor also. Okay. So this is actually what I need to say. Let me check my notes a second. And I have the words here. It will be self-evident. It is self-evident that the world knows that they can't take advantage of the United States open heart, kind heart, cancer, astrological cancer energies anymore. And I think the people that are inside the United States that took advantage of exactly the same thing by saying, we need to send $2 million to this country to do this and this and this, when the truth of the matter is the check was going to be made to an organization in that country, but the money was going to come back to them. It's the same thing. You know what's so interesting? This is an issue that's huge for me my whole life, but that I've just become aware of it. People think, I'm not going to tell you the IQ the government supposedly took me to with all their horrifying techniques in the mind control program. But most people around me think that I'm really dumb as a rock. So that when I stand up and defend myself, they're like, oh my God, who's this woman? Well, you know what? You were seeing the soft part of me, the cancer, astrologically cancer part of me. But if I put that away, I can run circles around you. Don't make me put it away because it's a part of me that I like. So the United States should keep its heart open and be kind, but it doesn't mean that it should lay there and allow itself to be raped by other people that know how to run circles around people that have cancer open heart characteristics. This has been a big lesson for me because I also that has like there's two parts of me. A part of me that's oh yeah, don't do that, please don't do. My husband used to say when we went to therapy, the therapist would say, "You listen to your wife," and he would say, "She'll get over it." And then the day that I finally didn't get over it and we got a divorce, he was in shock. But that's the day I took my heart, I put it to the side, and I said, "You know what? This is just not working." So, cancer, what you inherited wasn't working. You fixed it. Now, don't screw up your legacy and the other good stuff that the United States, because Americans are good people. I was saying another little story. My father was Cuban, my mother was German, but I kind of feel, you know what? I'm gonna have to admit, I think I kind of like I'm American. And then we moved to Cuba, so I ended up living with Hispanics, Cubans, and in Miami, everybody's Hispanic, whatever. And it's interesting because they're wonderful, wonderful to be with, really, honestly, really sweet. Um, Very different than Anglos. Anglos are like, yet this is a big difference. And the difference, if we understood them all, we could make adjustable laws, but we can't. So you have to make laws to protect the American heart so that the rest of the world doesn't think like they think of me. She's really dumb as a rock. You can run circles around her, which was true. So it is self-evident that the ice thing is not working. So a little bit of an adjustment. We will be back. Things are getting good. Things are getting really, really good for me. I'm on the right side of the line. Venezuela, Vatican. Um, Pay attention. And how can we educate the population about the holy teas? That's one thing the Hispanics have all over the Anglos. Everybody has seen an ET, a spaceship, or their cousin did, or their father did, or they had an abduction when they were 2 years old, or they were sitting by the window when the ETs came, and everybody talks about it. In this country, people would be ashamed to say that because they'd say they were crazy, and they're not. So, a little bit of we need to get that updated. Thank you for listening. Okay, I think life is going to be a lot more fun from here on out. I think I'm liking this new dimension, this new era, this golden age. Oh, I just realized it's a golden age. Got it. And the United States. Oh, I didn't do the map. Hold on. The map. I'm so sorry. Here it is. Today. Look at that. The heart is not crying. Oh, that's good. You've got the Galactic Federation Merkaba defending. You also have that green, that's the heart chakra. So the United States heart is really opened. And then Mexico's looking really good. I don't even bother with Canada. They're gone. And then, at the bottom it says pay attention to Cuba. Remember that the Hurricane Melissa was weaponized to take down Cuba because the cartels wanted to use Cuba as their new landing station, their new home, being it Trump that you've done such a great job. Okay?